But first this evening, the largest universities in the two states seeing hundreds of new cases of COVID-19. UGA reporting more than 1,400 in the past week alone.
At USC, more than 500 active cases, with some sorority and fraternity houses still under quarantine there. Will Rio is live at Augusta University's Somerville campus. So, Will, what is the plan here at home for our local colleges?
Well, earlier today, right behind me, there were students going in between classes, almost all of them wearing masks, which is good, and that's what they want. But as these students returned to campus, so did the COVID cases, and school officials say they are more than prepared to handle this.
At universities in both Georgia and South Carolina, COVID cases are on the rise. UGA has seen more than 3,000, and USC almost 2,000. But some of our local schools say they are more than prepared for a surge in cases.
You know, we've got our mitigation policy is really extremely thorough.
Mitigation policies are guidelines universities follow to keep students safe. USC Aiken has 4 levels. Right now, they're in the green with only 9 cases. For the school to shut it down, it would have to get to the red level with 15% of the students infected.
The administration, the leadership could decide if we got to 10%, because again, you want to take other things into consideration besides just the numbers.
USC Aiken will continue to use isolation rooms, educate, and hold students responsible. In Augusta, AU is prepared but worried.
Well, we're concerned already.
AU officials say if cases rise,
not to come to class, tell them to report to student health typically, get tested, and socially distance, and stay at home.
If students can follow that, they are confident they will stay open.
Well, I don't think it will happen here. A lot of individuals have put in a lot of time and thought into making the learning environment very, very safe.
School leaders think they can fight this with one simple message.
That people need to really be responsible.
Now, Dr. MacArthur did tell me that the virus will be with us for a long time, in that to get it under control, everyone must wear a mask and remain socially distanced. Guys?
All right, masks continue on there. Will, thank you. At Augusta University, 114 students have been diagnosed since August 1st. 25 are active cases right now. At USC Aiken, in the 2 weeks since classes started, there have been 9 cases there, and 5 of those just in the last week.
And this is encouraging. The daily cases at our local hospitals seem to be staying low. We heard back from all of them today. None saw more than 15 new cases. You can see AU Health saw the most with 14. There were times when they would consistently rise by more than 100 every day. And hospitalizations are down as well. University with the most, 46 patients, and doctors with 16, and Aiken Regional, just 8 COVID patients. More chances to get tested for free this week right here in our area. You have 3 opportunities, including 2 in North Augusta, 1 tomorrow, another one coming up on Thursday. There's also a 3rd testing site opening at the Barnwell Health Department. That's on Saturday. Officials say you'll get your results there within 72 hours. We have this list and everything you need to know on our website.
It has been hot and humid still here, but Riley, you've been tracking this hurricane. What kind of effects could we see from this?
Luckily for us, Laura, we're not expecting much other than very heavy rain Wednesday through Friday. The thing with Sally is that it's going to bring the wind threat further to our south and to our west along the Gulf Coast. By the time it reaches us, not expect to have much wind with it, but that heavy rain threat definitely going to be real for many of us. Now, here's a look at Sally, Category 2 storm, and expected to maintain that strength, if not get a little bit stronger before landfall Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Now, we're going to have much more on our forecast later this week and impacts from Sally in about 10 minutes.
All right, thanks for that, Riley. A Texas family found guilty of a scheme to sell Masters tournament tickets, sentenced and forced to pay more than $275,000 back. After pleading guilty for conspiracy to commit wire fraud, the ringleader, Stephen Freeman, was sentenced to 28 months in prison. His parents and sister each received 3 years of probation, and together they will pay thousands of dollars in restitution, which will benefit First Tee of Augusta and the Community Foundation of the CSRA.
A murder suspect in the hospital after a shootout with deputies over the weekend in Aiken County. Deputies are not giving out his name yet. He is still in the hospital. But the shooting happened Saturday night, just a few hours after deputies found a couple shot to death in their home in Graniteville. When deputies found the suspect, they say he drove off and later fired at officers, and that's when the suspect was shot. No deputies were injured in all of this. 2 people now identified after they were killed this morning in Aiken County when a car and a dump truck collided head on. You can see all the traffic backed up there this morning on Edgefield Highway. This is not far from the county line. 30-year-old Alexander Fowler, 25-year-old Tina Tiana Posey were both killed. Police say their car crossed the center line into the path of that oncoming dump truck. The truck driver taken to a hospital but is expected to be okay.
Another apparently racist picture and caption of a local student is making the rounds. This time you see a girl in blackface posting a picture referencing the N-word.
Social media playing a big role in exposing all this, but at what point should schools get involved in posts that happen outside of campus?
Sydney Heiberger went to find out, and she has the story.
Columbia County Racists is a newly created Instagram account that features derogatory comments and images from high schoolers in the area. One of the more controversial postings isn't from a student in Columbia County, but one from Fox Creek High School, a teenager in what appears to be blackface, writing, quote, "Now I can say the N-word."
And I was kind of shocked.
Eileen Wrdw says she saw the photo on Snapchat before it started making the rounds on other social media platforms.
And I know there's a lot of those type of prejudices in the CSRA, but I didn't think that people would be so open about it.
The teen in the photo apparently attends Fox Creek High School in North Augusta. In a statement, Fox Creek's principal said, quote, "The post does not in any way reflect the values of Fox Creek High School or the school's commitment to diversity and the inclusion of all students. But should schools intervene in behaviors that take place outside of school hours and off school grounds?" Columbia County Superintendent weighed in.
Children, teenagers' behaviors outside of school can cause a disruption inside our schools.
We took a look at the student codes of conduct at Fox Creek, Richmond, Columbia, and Aiken counties. Fox Creek says, quote, "Language or behavior which demeans, insults, incites, or is inflammatory to others based on ethnic or cultural differences or any inappropriate use of social media is a Class 3 infraction." Columbia, Aiken, and Richmond counties all have items in their student codes that say students who engage in offensive activity off campus that create a disruption of school operations are also subject to be disciplined. Now, there are several posts on this page that involve Columbia County High School students. The district says they've taken appropriate action, but what that action is, they say, is confidential. Reporting in Augusta, Sydney Heiberger, on your side.
To the election now, and it's home to major
Positions. You do need to register for this event, but once you do, you'll get an interview slot. And for a link, you can just head over to our website, and we have that right there for you.
Okay, time out. We got to pause right now and say welcome back, Laura. We got to visit with Laura every single day from her home right up until you went into labor, but it is great to see you back in the studio.
I know, I feel like I'm on a foreign planet or something. Like, it's so surreal, but it is so good to be back. I've been at home with my latest special project, little Addison, and she is super sweet, super laid back. You always said that the second baby, was kind of like, they just fall into line, they just kind of fall into their role, but she's been really sweet. But it is chaos. It turns out doubling the children also doubles the crazy.
Everything, doubles everything. That picture of her sleeping, is that typical? Is she a good sleeper?
Occasionally, she's been known to sleep from time to time. Not all night long, but sometimes.
And what a good big brother that is. Right?
Yeah, that part has been really rewarding because John Michael, we were worried, he's super only child up until this point, but he's been very doting and he loves his little sister. So it's been good, as organized chaos as we can manage it around there.
I love it. Congratulations and welcome back to your second home.
It's good to be back. Yeah, it really is.
Definitely glad to have you back, Laura. We are tracking a few showers.
Also tonight, it is a different kind of gig for the Bell Auditorium, with the city planning to transform the entertainment complex to a supersized place to vote.
The Richmond County Board of Elections met today to talk about how they're going to put the Bell space to better use, or a different use anyway. Celeste Springer gives us an idea of what we can expect this election season.
Instead of early voters casting their ballot in the city government building, they're going to be right here at the Bell Auditorium. And as you can see from around me, there's a lot more room to social distance here.
They should expect that things will be different for them perhaps since the last time they voted.
The chairs and tables here at the Bell are about to be replaced with check-in stations, scanners, and voting machines.
The facility there at the Bell is just wonderful for this purpose. It has a big open space floor plan. We can put as many as 50 voting machines in there, space them out nicely. 8 check-in stations, we think, and 4 scanners.
The old polling room here at the municipal building could only fit 12 polling machines.
I would say it's 10 times the space that we have now in this community room.
And another perk for voters,
They have great parking down there. There aren't any competing events going on there like there are at the municipal building on a daily basis.
one of the biggest challenges, making sure people know there's a change of location.
We have used the municipal building as an advanced voting center since 2003. And so we won't be using it this time in November. So it is an exception to the rule. And anytime you do that, you need to get the word out.
Early voters can come here to cast their ballot from October 12th to October 30th. And the Board of Elections plans to host a campaign to ensure that people are aware to come to this building and don't end up at the wrong place. In Augusta, Celeste Springer on your side.
Certainly no shortage of space at the Bell, but as part of that campaign, you could expect to see some billboards going up around the city.
And they're also going to put reminders on city buses just to make sure everyone knows of the new change.
Also tonight, all eyes are on the Gulf Coast. Okay, before we head to break tonight, we have to officially welcome back Laura Warren. She's been away on a very special assignment.
Yes, I came back. I've been on maternity leave for the past 3 months, and we welcomed our sweet little Addison Lee Grieve. That's her. She's the smallest one there, but very, very sweet, very laid back. Not a great sleeper yet.
She'll get the hang of it.
But she's getting better. But yeah, it's been a fun 3 months, but a crazy 3 months. You know, I know a lot of the parents at home feel this. Coronavirus and parenting is just a whole different ballgame. I mean, you talk about a newborn and, you know, toddlers. It's just a lot going on for everyone right now. But
it probably flew by for you, but not so much for us.
It did fly by for me. It flew by. So good to be back, though. It really is good to be back.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Beautiful family. And Austin, congratulations to you, too.
He's
you're
probably
awake
asleep
right
for
now.
sure.
Riley?
Definitely welcome back, Laura. Glad to have you here. We are tracking.
So glad that it's back in its rightful place.
Good to see that. The American Red Cross helping a South Carolina family whose home was damaged in a fire this morning. Going to show you a look at the scene they found this morning on Mount Beulah Road in Windsor. Officials say the son and the family of 4 was able to get everybody outside. The Red Cross is now helping them with food and clothing and other essentials. Heading west now, at least 35 people confirmed dead from the historic wildfires burning there. It's been more than a week, and still dozens of major fires are raging across the region.
More evacuations are happening in Southern California tonight as hundreds of homes have already been lost throughout the West. The fire is also creating a thick smoke in California, so hazardous the governor says it's like smoking 400 cigarettes a day.
And among the